this video, we will cover hexadecimal conversion to decimal. Hexadecimal numbering is also known as base 16. You should already be quite familiar with base 2, binary, and base 10, decimal. There are many ways to convert decimal numbers into hexadecimal numbers and vice versa. You can find many examples from resources such as YouTube and other video sites on the internet. Most can seem very complex. In networking, you won't have to convert a number larger than 255, so the method I describe here is really quite simple and very accurate. IP addresses used in IPv6 are expressed in hexadecimal values. Numbers range from 0 to 15. Decimal numbers 0 through 9 are represented by the numbers 0 through 9 in hex. Decimal numbers 10 through 15 are represented by the letters A through F. So we make a little table as follows. Decimal numbers are down on the left. Hexadecimal numbers go down to the right. Let's start with a simple decimal number of 167 to convert into hex. First, we simply convert the decimal to binary. We do this using our binary truth table. We plug in the bits associated with 167 under that binary truth table. Then we draw an imaginary line down through the binary truth table between the 16 and the 8. This gives us 4 bits in each half. The next part is easy. We simply add up each half to get the decimal equivalent. Let's start on the right side. Notice if you add them up, the 8, the 4, the 2, and the 1 equal 15, which is the maximum value allowed in hexadecimal. 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7 in decimal, which equals 7 in hex. Now if you look at the left half, you say, hey, that can't fit into the hex table. You're correct, but we'll do just a little substitution and voila. We take away the 12 from the 128, the 6 from the 64, the 3 from the 32, and the 6 from the 16. And then we're left with the 8, 4, 2, 1, which gives us our 15. We sum up those values, and presto, 8 plus 2 equals 10 in decimal, which equals an A in hex. Now we put the two halves back together and get a hex value of alpha 7. This can be expressed a couple of different ways. A 0 by alpha 7, or alpha 7 with a lowercase h. That h is in subscript. Either way is accepted, but the 0 by is far more common. Hexadecimal to decimal conversion, this process is simply the reverse. You start with the hex value, you break it into 2 or more pieces. If you have more than 2 in your hex, we just would simply extend out our binary truth table another 4 bits. You place the number or letter under the correct side of the binary truth table, convert it into bits, sum up those bits, and you have your decimal number. Let's start with the hex value of 0 by F8. Write out the binary truth table and draw a line bisecting it between the 16 and 8. And F in hex equals 15 in decimal. 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 15. Set those bits to 1. And 8 in hex equals 8 in decimal, so you set that bit to 1 and the rest to 0. Now you sum up those bits and you get 248. So the hexadecimal value of F8 equals 248 in decimal.